Both Nixon and JFK and Jimmy Carter, what they did was they gathered a whole bunch of money. Basically, what they did was they showed a whole bunch of films. They made a film for me. They stole the Maltese Falcon. It wasn't called the Maltese Falcon. It was called the Falcon. They stole the Falcon, the gold statue Falcon. There's a gold one, there's a silver one, and there was a uranium one and a titanium one. They stole them, and they found saw marks on the uranium one. Of course, they found it. Everyone lost their hair, so it's pretty obvious where it was. Anyway, though, the we it said unknown metal. Anyway, but it was quite radioactive and very dangerous if you spent prolonged, like any more than a year or two, like your hair would fall out basically if you stayed around it. They weren't supposed to get it, but they requested it, and I was like, and they gave back the lead ones, so I was like, well, give them the uranium one. So they said, well, we had to paint it, so and when my people looked at it, it's like it's made of lead, and the lead was almost as expensive as the gold, so they really didn't make that much money. They only made a little bit of money off of it, really. By the time they replaced it with gold or whatever, I mean, replaced it with lead, they really didn't really make that much money. And they had destroyed like a 500-year-old artifact. Anyway, so basically they requested those for making the movie. Anyway, and then they also took donations or whatever so they could go abroad. And then they filmed abroad, and then they filmed a whole bunch of projects, and they said, look what we're doing over there in Russia. Look over, would you like to help out with the children of Madagascar or save the whales? And they would do all this stuff, and people would give them money, basically. Or don't you want to help the children? They would do that, and they would show these films. Oh, look at the orphanages we're putting up over there in Somalia, and they had nothing to do with it, of course. Anyway, and then they would travel over there, and they'd travel abroad, and they would film, and they were researching, and they were looking to where all the money was, because they got the Maltese Falcon, and they're like, well, let's see what else is there. And they saw all this gold in Germany, and they saw all this stuff, and blah, blah, blah. And so they actually planned out every attack beforehand. But we had planned out every defense beforehand. So, and they were just kids, just teenage kids at the time. Like I said, we got to go to work for them. We got to go work for them to find out their inner workings. Anyway, yeah. So, anyway. But I mean, it's kind of like saying you're going to build a 92 Toyota pickup truck or a 92 Datsun just by, we got to go understand these people. Like, okay, well, there's a mountain right there. Start digging, and in a couple of days, you might be able to foundry some steel. That's basically like getting into my inner workings of what is Germany. They had no hope or prayer of ever getting near me or near my government, even with everything. Anyway, and I was so far ahead of them, wasn't even I wasn't even in Germany anymore. Like I had already built Germany, I was moving on. Like I already had America built by the time they decided to go over there to Germany and find out what they got going on over there. Anyway, and Nixon was just a young boy, and he basically woke up one day and said, I'm going to lie to everyone forever, and then I'm going to try and kill them all. Anyway, that was basically pretty much what he said. And basically, Mr. Brown was like, hell yeah, kill more white boys. Anyway, that was pretty much, Harlem and Wolf, and Wolf, or whatever. And they were pouring gasoline on poor little pacifistic Chinese people, and then lighting them on fire and being like, well, they were in protest. It's their way of protesting. It's like, no, it's your way of torturing some poor person that you held a gun to and then poured gasoline on. I got a full report. Anyway, they're basically like psychotically bad, misbehaving children. Anyway, I mean, they had no regard for. I mean, they're horrible people, absolutely horrible. They would torture and kill anyone. Like John McCain was one of the worst people. He tortured like 120 Japanese people. Like they found them in a basement hiding from them, and so they tortured every single one of them, whether they knew anything or not. They're horrible, horrible. Like they raped women. They just figured on lying forever or something, or they figured that by the time anyone figured it out, that'd be too late. Anyway, I mean, they took cannons and they just started shelling buildings. Anyway, we had plans, and we moved underground. Like we had bunkers and everything. We already had it planned out. We even had hidden bunkers, I believe. So, I'm pretty sure anyway. I mean, we were ready. We were. There wasn't anybody that was more paranoid or more overprepared than I was. I had all the money in the world, and I intended to spend it if it meant saving my people. Like they would always say, stiff resistance. It's like, yep, that's me. That's what I did. So anyway, all this other stuff, it's just propaganda. That's why they said, oh, it's just propaganda. Well, they would try and say the United States propaganda, but it wasn't really United States because I invented the word United States. I was Germany and I was United States. So anyway, and then there was the civilian Yankees, which basically were stealing gold and killing people and raping women. Like they raped Japanese like crazy. They raped English women like crazy. They raped German women like crazy. They even tried to. Well, the black people. We protect our own. Anyway, the black people would never let anyone. No, no, no. The black people would never let their own be raped or whipped. I mean, that came later, I guess, from other black people, I guess. Anyway, because it's Mr. Harlem and Wolf, Mr. Brown. But then again, I mean, yeah, I guess when you're already a colored person, it's easy to be racist. I don't know why. It's weird because, like, well, I mean, I created them, so anyway, weird. Anyway, it's just skin color. Anyway, though, but they were ridiculously racist of us, so I was like, whatever. I don't get it. Maybe I guess it's a brown thing. I don't know. If you wake up black or brown, you have a different outlook on life. But I mean, mostly the black people that were the problem were the heroin junkies and like they were disgusting. Like they would have like these marks on them, from and they were just like you look at some of the faces of Africa, like you can tell like he was some sort of disgusting like whatever because like he had like I mean they had diseases like I think that they should have gotten AIDS, but I mean they had all kinds of nasty things about them. They didn't take care of themselves and they killed everybody they came in contact with practically. Like one guy went through 5 different advisors. True, some of them were white advisors, so he didn't really care, but he started shooting the black advisors too. And they started yelling at them because they're incompetents. It's like, all your men are dead. That's why they can't defend you. Because I was that rich and that powerful and that well prepared. I mean, he didn't care. He just basically said, go attack them. And gave a bunch of people some weapons. And it's like, well, then we captured your people and then we interrogated them, asked them. And then we found out where they came from. Anyway, anyway, I don't, I mean, I was massively wealthy and a very good inventor myself and stuff. So anyway, and it's just ridiculous. So anyway, that's why I'm here. And besides, I came down here to be with my people, not to fight some sort of stupid war. I was coming down here because I'm the creator of humanity. Anyway, whatever.